This is the ThinkPad X201 tablet, and it's the oldest usable ThinkPad with an IPS screen. You might say, there's plenty of old usable ThinkPads, you know, with IPS screens. You can get the X201 tablet, or you can get a T601 Frankenpad, which is true, but those use Core 2 Duos. Now, I have nothing against Core 2 Duos. I have like way too many Core 2 Duo laptops. I got at least 5, right? out of my, that is to say, if I can count correctly, 4 out of my 10 ThinkPads currently have Core 2 Duos. So I have nothing against Core 2 Duos. I love Core 2 Duos. Core 2 Duos are great, right? They're, I would say, still very usable. But if you want to really use a laptop, you do need at least something like this first gen Core i5. So this is why this is the oldest usable ThinkPad with an IPS screen, because this tablet screen is IPS, of course, because look at that. Look at them viewing angles. Aren't they great? So let's first explain, right? Let's first go over the whole laptop. So when you open up the laptop, you first are greeted with a latch right here. You can open it without a latch, as I'm about to demonstrate. Look at that. But don't, I feel pain when I do that. Open it with the latch, and you're greeted with the standard ThinkPad 7-row keyboard at the time, except for one thing. They used the old design for the keyboard, the same design that was shared with the previous X200 series and X200 series, instead of updating to the newer design with the large escape key and delete key with a bunch of other changes. They still kept the old design with the top row. And one thing that is different about this, like the X200 series of keyboards from the other series, would be the fact that they got colored trim buttons right here. You see these red, blue specks, red right here, and they got black buttons instead of gray buttons. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, allow me to demonstrate with this thing, my T61. You see here, this is black, all black buttons, gray right here. It's the same design as the T500 with the T500. I don't have the T500 near me right now. I could get it, but that will take a while, so I'll just keep that there. Anyways, so this is the first model with a trackpad as well. So this is the first model optionable with a trackpad. You could get it without a trackpad, but there's an option for it, you know, which is there's another reason why it's still very usable in the modern day, even if you can't use a track point. I mean, I get it. Some people just can't get used to using a track point. So you got this tiny little trackpad to keep you company, so you can use it still. And now let's go over the ports before we go into the performance of it. So on the left side, you have your Kensington lock, you have your DC in. It's the standard ThinkPad round barrel jack used in basically all ThinkPads at the time, except for like the W series, like W700. I don't think that I think they use like a different one. Got a VGA port. You got Ethernet, a USB, and a network switch. And on top of that, you have this is Express Card 54 or Express Card 34. You can use either in this. Now this is different from the PCMCIA in the X61, the 60 series, X61. They updated to Express Card in the X200. This is the X201. So up at the front, you have a latch. You have a latch switch. You have a SD card reader. This also supports MMC and a bunch of other standard. It's pretty versatile. It's like 5-in-1. You can go look it up. And on here, on the right side, you have another USB 2 port. Now this one is actually this is also USB 2. I forgot to mention. All these are USB 2. There's no USB 3 yet. You got headphone out, microphone in. You have a what's it called? Modem jack port, whatever. It is, if I remember correctly, it is the last ThinkPad X series to have one, which is along with like the other X201s to have a modem jack, because I'm pretty sure the X200 got rid of that. X220 got rid of that. You got your tablet stylus. This is only usable on the X60 tablets to the X61, X60, X61, all the way up to the X230 tablets. Anything else, it won't be usable on. Probably be usable on some Wacom tablets as well. Just this is a Wacom tablet panel, and you got some sort of hole. Honestly, I have no clue what this is for. And you have another USB 2 port. On the back, there's nothing except for this 9-cell battery sticking out, 8-cell battery sticking out. Something interesting about the 8-cell battery would be that this part is rubberized along with this bottom part, which is quite an interesting and nice touch, because when you're holding the laptop vertically, right? Because this is a tablet, you can spin it around. You're holding it vertically. This gives you a very nice grip on the machine. And there's also these little tabs right here where you can rest your thumb on. Just grip with your thumb. On the bottom, there is your RAM cover. There is your docking connector for the X200 Ultra Base. This supports the same Ultra Base as the regular X201 and the X200. I actually do have one, so I can demonstrate to you how it would work. So you see here, you just slot it in. This one is slightly damaged, but there we go. So now on the Ultra Base, we have the eject latch. This is the software eject latch. You can't just straight up eject it because you might have something in there. So you press this, ejects everything connected to the Ultra Base, and you can eject this. Right now, this is in sleep mode, so it doesn't. So you can just straight up eject it right now, but don't want to do that right now. You have this blocks the DC in because they want you to use this DC in. But anyways, this has a battery charger built in as well, so you can flip this out. You can disconnect this battery. You can plug it in here and it can charge. You got a battery indicator right here as well. to see how much it's charged. And you got a complement of ports on the back with DC in, 3 USB 2, VGA, display port. They started adding display port to other ThinkPads, but they never added it to the X200 series, X200, X201. And so you have that right now on the back on the Ultra Bass. You got another set of headphone out and microphone in. You got Ethernet jack. There's no modem port, as you can see here. Nothing here. And you got another Kensington lock. So, and you also have on this side you have a locking thing. I don't have the key, so I can't lock it. Why would I don't want to lock it anyways. And you have another USB 2 port for a total of 4 on the Ultra Bass, and a total with 3 on the system. You have a total of 7 USB ports on one computer, which is honestly crazy. This is right now has a spacer in it, but this is the Ultra Bay. Pull out the come on. You can pull out this spacer, and you can use any serial Ultra Bay Slim, in here. So that will be the same ones from the T400 onwards, just as a frame of reference. On the front, you have a power switch, power button with a locking switch, so you don't accidentally press it. And you have 2 stereo speakers. Let's take this out of the dock because it's very unwieldy. Notice how it was sticking, the battery was sticking out. That actually looks a little bit terrible. It's not as good as, I would say, X61 X6 Ultra Bass, where it accommodated the battery into the Ultra Bass, but it's fine because when you do have this sticking out like this, you can't access the ports on the back as easily. Anyways, let's talk about the specs. It's nothing impressive. I was honestly trying to delay talking about the specs, but it's a first gen Core i5 560M with 2 cores, 2 threads. Let me pull out the CPU Z. It's got a fingerprint scanner, and as you can see, it's a Core i5 560M. Right now, this has the maximum of 8 GB of DDR3. You can have up to 1066 megahertz. It has the Intel GMA HD graphics, so it's not anything good. Right here, Intel HD graphics. And now, it gets around 500 on the multi-threaded CPU Z test. That's, if you want a comparison, that is the single core performance of a Core i5 8350U. So it's nothing good. Now let's get to the coolest feature, right? Honestly, should have showed this first. But look at that, it swivels and it turns into tablet mode. Let's talk about some tablet features. So right here, you have the power button right here for use when in tablet mode. You have another set of power button. You have a Control-Alt-Delete emulator. Look at that. Emulated button, so you can access whatever you want. You got a screen rotation button right here. You press that and it rotates to this, like that. And you have this used to open up the tablet PC settings, but right now I have it set as Control-C, Control-V, and Control-C when you press and Control-V when you hold. this also has a separate function. When you hold it, I set it as escape because you don't have an escape key. Kind of need that. For this right now is Windows. This is mute. This is set as mute switch. So because you don't have volume control, so right now it's just set as mute so that I can adjust the volume whenever I want. And when you hold this is set for Windows key. Look at that. This right now I have the only pen touch display. There is a multi-touch option that looks not like this. This is when you see this sort of glass covering over it, you know that's the only pen touch option. You want, if you want multi-touch, you want the one that kind of looks like the whole bezel is plastic and not glass. That's the multi-touch that if you want multi-touch, that is. All right. Then you have a fingerprint scanner here, just because you can use it wherever you want. They didn't want to include 2 fingerprint scanners, do they? And now that's it. So this overall has very usable features in modern Windows usage. This cannot support Windows 11 because it doesn't have full pop count support. If you don't know what pop count is, just search up Windows 11 POP CNT support and you can look up more about it. And it's just, it's the same reason why Core 2 Duos don't support Windows 11 24H2. This also cannot because it does not have full pop count support. It does have SSE 4.2, but it just doesn't have pop count and like a lot of some other needed API needed instruction sets to run Windows 11 24H2, which is not that big of a deal. You got Windows 10. Windows 11 is not that good anyways, not especially not for this. Speaking of Windows 10, let's talk about the problems I had trying to get this thing to work. You see this Bluetooth indicator right here? Right now is just my rant time, all right? My review time is over. This is a great laptop. You already know my opening statement. It's a great laptop, great usable ThinkPad, oldest one you can get right now. It's got a beautiful IPS display, all right? That's it. It's 1280 by 800 though. It's not high res. Now let's go ranting time. See the Bluetooth indicator right here? I could not for the life of me get that to get work. You know why? Because when you reinstall Windows 10, they don't, Microsoft, I don't know, it's Microsoft or Lenovo automatically disables Bluetooth just completely. Even if you disconnect your Bluetooth in here and you reconnect it back in, just gone. Bluetooth is not gonna work. What you need is this specific application right here, 8JVU23WW, and this is you need this hotkey integration feature along with all the other updates, but you do not want the newest 8JVU43WW. You want this 8JVU23WW. Why do you need this? Because these, even the 42WW, any of these, except for this, anything after this onward, does not include the FNF5 network features. It does not support it, and it just, because of that, you can't re-enable Bluetooth. Right now I have it enabled because I have that. So you need that specific driver package. I will link it in the description just because I do not want anyone going through as much pain as I did before. All right. That aside, that rant aside, Actually, I have another rant. I don't think rant. Why Lenovo? Let me pull up HMM for this thing real quick. Right here. Let me ask you a simple question, Lenovo. Why the hell did you make it so that you have to take apart the whole motherboard in order to get to this step right here, right? This step right here of removing the CPU cooler, you have to take out the whole dang. Wait. You have to take out the whole dang motherboard. Wait a sec. Right here, you see that? You have to take out the whole dang motherboard. And do you know how much you need to remove in order to get to that? All of these. You need to get rid of all of these. Not all of them, because some of them are like unnecessary, but you need just to it's honestly just Lenovo. Why have you done this to the PC, to the ThinkPad community, bro? Anyways, so yep, that's the video. You can also flip it all degrees. One thing I don't like is that I don't use any of the other orientations except for this and the landscape and that portrait mode. It's a bit annoying. And you also can't flip it like all the way around. I mean, I guess it's like a pretty, like, I guess, yeah, sure. You can't twist the wires. But anyways, all right, bye.